Hello and welcome to Potential Classroom. I'm doing this video to go over a lesson that I made pertaining to Ayn Rand's Anthem, which is a phenomenal novel. If you have a chance to read it, my class will be reading it. For this, we will take a week to read the novel. It's only 110 pages. It's extremely doable in a week's classroom, especially it being an 8th grade standard, so I have them all 5 days of the week. I believe that's how middle school runs now. For this, after we read the book, I'm going to note parts that have potentially challenging words. In these segments that I take out, I'll have the students look over them and find words that they don't previously know. In doing this, they're rereading the text, which is always good because the more reading we can get, the better the test scores are going to be. But also, they're looking for words that they don't know, so they have to think about what, if they can define it easily or what. I'm going to try to get them to pick challenging words that they can't figure out just based off of that. And then I'm going to tell them to look at the text. And in the text, there should be, at least in the segments I take out, there will be context clues. The book is not filled with too many challenging words, so a lot of the students will have the same words, so they can work together on this. The grouping will come along later on. Once they pick out these words for themselves, they'll be put into groups by what words they pick. I won't tell them this beforehand, otherwise all the friends will pick the same word. And what they're going to do is I'm going to give them a little bit of background about context clues. They should already know by the 8th grade level, but just in case they don't, and it's a good refresher. It's always good to refresh the students. Don't ever assume they know anything. Don't assume they're dumb. Okay, anyway. In this, they are going to write down what they think the word might mean based on the context clues in the sentence or the paragraph, depending on which word. Having read the book, they'll know in the long run how maybe that word affects the entire outcome of the book, but they're going to pick the words. And then they're going to look and see if they can define it based off of the knowledge around it. And when they think they have a good grasp in their groups of what the word means, I'm going to send them possibly to the computer lab. If it's a one-to-one school, that would be phenomenal. Get a laptop card in or something. And what they're going to do is take what they thought the word meant, look it up on the internet, and see what the word actually means, and compare the two. And that is extremely low on the Bloom's level. It's just typing in information and reciting it. But where the upper level comes in is in the reflection paragraph, which we always have to have that upper level, and this is the form of it I chose to use. For the upper level of Bloom's, they're going to write a paragraph not only stating what they thought the word meant and what the word actually meant, but they're also going to state how this can help them function in day-to-day society, how they can hear something that maybe they don't understand. Say if I just spout off a word that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to them at first, they can take what I'm saying, like if I say like Russia at some points in history has had tyrannical leadership. Tyrannical, you may or may not know what it means, but then you can look at the history of Russia and see, okay, they've been a dictatorship, a communist dictatorship for a long time. It could have something to do with communism. And then you gather that information, and then you go from that and look it up. And you see, okay, it does kind of have something to do with communism. It's a crazy leader, more or less. And then in their paragraph, they're going to explain how they can use that in their day-to-day life and how they think they benefited from it. And if they didn't benefit from it, I expect I'll have a few students that tell me that they won't benefit at all from it. And that's fine, because kids aren't always interested in learning in this way, but hopefully it'll lay a foundation where they will find interest in learning. And I believe that sums it up. It's extremely short, and I will probably revise this because it's rough. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.